everybody. Come on in. It's the Daily Bern. I'm just sharing. You share too. Even if you're here later on. Even if you're watching the show late. Because it is never late. When you show up to a Daily Bern, you are right on time. Don't let anybody tell you different. So you can't be late to a Daily Bern. And if you're here, you're in the right place, no matter what time you find it. Matter of fact, I leave these up on the channel, so I hope people watch them. I watch them. I think they're good. I'm proud of this little show, but I'm going to share it a little bit. See if we can't get a few people in here. All right. I think I've given enough time. I shared it as much as I can without getting locked up in Facebook jail. We don't want that. Can't have that. Right around the primary season, can't end up in Facebook jail. What would happen to the Daily Bern? I really don't know. I worry about that sometimes, to be honest with you, because they can take this stuff away from us anytime they want. But we'll still have YouTube. We're up on YouTube as well. Welcome to everybody here on both platforms. Good to see you guys. Looks like we got a group here on both sides, so very cool. I've got a burn planned out to talk to you guys about. Some things I want to talk about, like we do every day at 7, that have to do with this fight and have to do with what's going on. I want to get into some of that. And I actually wrote my thoughts out for the beginning because I'm worried, and I'm a little emotional. I'm worried that I will get sidetracked. So I wrote my thoughts out for the beginning part of the burn. So for a minute, it's going to look like I'm reading, because I am. But come on in. This is the Daily Bern. This is the war room of the political revolution. We meet here every day on our Revolution War Room. That's the page. Join the page. We're trying to grow. And we do this show every day to inspire all of us that are out there fighting in this political revolution in order to change our society and change our government and move things forward and make real change happen. What we're doing here is beautiful, and you're a part of it, and I'm a part of it, and we gather here every day at 7 to discuss it. We know that it's important. We know that it must happen. We're not going to back down. We're not going to quit. And that's what this is for. That's what this show is for. So please share this out. This is a positive message for the political revolution and a grassroots independent show. And hey, Jack, good to see some people here. Like I said, I have a burn planned out. And I'm going to start the burn today by being honest with y'all for a minute. Like I said, I am still a little upset. The more I think about the debate, the more upset I get. I tried to do a wrap-up last night after the debate. Some people might have saw that. I bailed after a half hour because I had to gather my thoughts. The more I started playing back in my head what had went on, the worse it got. Now, I've got to tell you that this whole political process, the entire thing, makes me sick. Especially with the Democratic nomination, the Democratic primary process, the entire thing. It makes me sick. And to watch this play out as the establishment shills and the media ganged up on Bernie and spread confusion on especially Medicare for All, but our whole damn platform really made me sick. The more I think about it, the worse it gets. I was getting angry while it was happening. I wanted to go through the TV set because Pete Buttigieg was laying it on very heavy, and he is a propaganda specialist. That is his niche. You know, I believe that he is a CIA shill, a CIA plant. But even if you don't want to go down that road with me, he has worked in propaganda and disinformation for McKinsey and Company. He has a history with it. He's a master at it, and he's naval intelligence, so he is a master at propaganda. And he is doing a fantastic job of trying to confuse people and get them to vote outside their best interest and misinform them about Medicare for all. And it drives me crazy. It drives me insane. And it's a game to them. Every single one of those sellouts said last night that they'd let the superdelegates decide the nomination, not the voters. Every single one of them. And they are all, every one of them, up there to stop Bernie Sanders, but more than that, to stop us. Not a damn one of them thinks they have any chance of being president. They are not realistically up there to win. They don't even care about winning. All they care about is pulling enough delegates to make sure that Bernie doesn't win. That's the only thing they're doing up there, every single one of them. Every one. They don't want the gravy train to stop. They don't want for this greed to end. They're filling their pockets up. This is how they've gotten rich. And they damn sure don't want people having quality health care. Well, I don't care what they want. I don't care. And we know what they're going to do. They are showing their hand already. This early in the game, they have already shown us what they intend to do. They intend to pull enough delegates from Bernie to keep him from getting the number needed to clinch the nomination so that they can screw us in a contested convention with the superdelegates. That is what they intend to do. So that's where this is heading. And that's what their plan is. And they have revealed it early on. So we know what we've got to do. We push harder. We overwhelm them at every damn opportunity. And we spread the truth about what is happening right now in this political revolution. The media is hiding it. Now they're admitting at this point that we are the front runners. We are winning. We are the front runners. And like I said, even the media is admitting it now. Bernie is going to sweep this primary, and they still intend to steal it. They all stood there at the debate stage last night and told you. A lot of them had to look down when they answered the damn question. They are there to steal this nomination from Bernie Sanders. Whether they combine two of them or whatever they do, they plan on pulling shenanigans at the convention. We cannot allow them. Us. We. Me and you. Not Bernie. I think we need to talk about this real quick. Stop wondering what Bernie will do and decide right now that this happens no matter what. This happens right now. It must happen. We know that. We know what's at stake here. And we understand that left on this current path that we are currently on, things are going to get much worse. This greed cannot continue. And this corruption must end. And we must end it. Bernie has done all that he can for us, quite frankly. You know, everybody, no matter how you feel, even if you're mad at him, why? Why? The man's been working for you and for the causes that we believe in for decades, 40 plus years. Everything bad that you can think of, you can look up a video of Bernie trying to fight to stop it. Bernie has done a fantastic job. Bernie has laid the groundwork, given us a clear path to victory. Bernie has done all that he can. Stop waiting for Bernie to save the day. Stop being mad when he doesn't. Stop waiting for a hero, because this is up to us. We must be the ones that do this. We must be the ones that drive this forward. And we are. That's the good news. That's what we focus on here, too. We understand that we are winning. We are the front runners. We are doing enough to make this happen and make this a reality. But we need to do more. We have to overwhelm them. We have to wake more people up. We have to really crush every opportunity we get, every primary, every caucus, every chance that we get to show our strength. We have to make sure that we overwhelm them. We have to overwhelm them with our numbers. They've shown us what they intend to do. They intend to pull enough delegates so that Bernie doesn't get the required amount to clinch the nomination. And then they can screw him over in a contested convention. And they all stood there last night and admitted that's what they intend to do. And that they're fully on board with it. And that's my big takeaway from the debates. That and the CIA shill, Pete Buttigieg, was nice enough to let us all know that this is actually a race between Bloomberg and Bernie. He straight out told us that's what it's going to come down to. And I think that was a Freudian slip. I don't think he was supposed to say that. They all know that they're up there to stop Bernie Sanders. That's all they're trying to do. And by stopping Bernie, what they're really doing is stopping us, stopping this revolution, trying to get the people to sit back down. We must make it very clear that that time is done. This will happen because it must happen, and because we own this. We do. It's happening because of what Bernie's done, but it's happening because of us. He can't do any of this on his own. What makes him powerful in this movement, in this revolution powerful, is that he has empowered the people and taught the people that they need to stand up and do this on their own. They have to make their voices heard. They have to fight for this stuff. Steve says Bernie can get the majority of delegates and be unstoppable. It's going to be a fantastic race. It's going to be very exciting. But I got to tell you, I find the process disgusting. We have to do some massive overhaul to this election system and restore democracy to this country. Because this rigged ass flipping coins and the way they divvy up delegates, I find it disgusting. I think this is just gross. You know, where Bernie will win a state by 6,000 votes and leave with one less delegate. I'm tired of it. I'm sure that a lot of you are as well. You should be, if you're not. Everybody should. Every American should be disgusted with what's going on here. You know, this guy I know, he's a Trump supporter, but he comes up to me today and he's like, "Man, they sure messing up your buddy. You know, I heard my buddy might get a vote from you when they screw your buddy out of the nomination." And while he's way off on that, it just bugs the shit out of me that it's a joke. It's funny. What's funny? Why is it funny? I don't think it's funny. I don't think it's funny at all. I think this is an election in this country. I know that they consider themselves a private corporation, and they think they can do whatever they want. And they've even said so in court. I understand that. That's the other thing. We get that here. We get that we're in a rigged game, that we're in a rigged system. We're not all a bunch of naive people that gather here every day. And we're not a bunch of naive people fighting in this revolution. We understand what's at stake. We understand how bad this needs to happen. And we've done the research. We've looked into this stuff, and it makes sense. It can happen. So we need to help make other people understand that. And be the media. Do not ever expect the media to do their job and inform people. That's our job. Steve says at least Bloomberg got his lights punched out. Bloomberg, I saw a meme and it's so accurate, paid $400 million to attend his own roast. He got tore up. But I'm seeing that a lot of political analysts don't think it's going to matter. And the reason why is money, money, money. And he tends to spend a lot of it. And isn't it, that's the other part that is disgusting. You know, Tulsi's not up on that stage, but Mike Bloomberg bought his way up there. That's ridiculous. This system needs to be overhauled in a massive way, tore down and rebuilt from the ground up. But we're going to have to take it over to do it. You know, these people that sit on the sidelines, and that's what you're doing. They're, Dem exit. Dem exit. Take your ball and go home. What the hell will that do? They wouldn't care if nobody voted. They would fake it. That's ideal to them. They don't want you to vote. They don't want you to care. They damn sure don't want you to pay attention or inform yourself. Dem exit is quitting. It's laying down. We have to take them over, overwhelm them, crush them with our numbers, and then hold them accountable, make sure that change takes place. We own this all the way. It's not like we get it and then go, okay, now we can go back to sleep. We don't get to go back to sleep. This keeps going. That's what's important to remember. Because getting Bernie elected president, while that's going to be super cool, and I'm very excited about that, and I do believe that's going to happen, that doesn't do anything if we don't stay vigilant and stay working and stay moving forward, pushing forward, active. If we don't do those things, we can't expect him to accomplish these things that we want. We can't expect to get healthcare as a human right to people. We can't expect to make these things reality if we're not willing to put in the work. So luckily, millions of people are committed to that level. But I've been trying to focus on this and say this a lot because I really believe this is the truth of it. This is Bernie or vest, not Bernie or bust. This is not hold the line, hold your breath type situation. This must happen. This moves forward no matter what. It goes to direct action. We have to make change. And the only way that it will ever happen is if the people do it. The people rise up united, stand united, and make their voices heard. That's the only way change takes place. So that is why I believe in this revolution. That's why I believe in this movement. But we must commit that this happens no matter what. This doesn't stop, and we don't give up. We don't back down. We're coming to take this. That's what must happen. And that's what's going to happen. We can win this. We must win this. So we will win this. Not Bernie. Us. We've got to be the ones that own this. We have to understand that it is our responsibility and our job to make this happen. Nobody can make this happen for us. Nobody. Not even Bernie. And I hate that talk about, well, what will Bernie do at the convention this time? Who's waiting to find that out? I'm not worried about what Bernie plans to do. I plan to be in Milwaukee wearing a yellow vest, standing in solidarity with millions of other people in this political revolution. That's what I intend to do. And I intend to move forward no matter what they try to do. This happens because it must. It's going to happen. We are going to make this happen. And as Steve said, the establishment elites are shaking in their boots. They are terrified. They see what's happening. And what's happening is the people are rising up by the millions and taking ownership of their destiny and putting themselves in a position where they can make massive change a reality. Get health care as a human right to our citizens. We are the last country in our economic status to offer health care as a human right. The last. There's 33 in our economic status, in our standings or whatever, however you would justify our particular economic standings. 33 countries in that bracket. 32 of them have universal health care. It's disgusting that we're the last to be suffocated by this greed-driven system and that we're allowing it to kill people every day. We don't have to tolerate it, and we shouldn't tolerate it anymore, and we're not going to. We are going to do what it's going to take to make this happen. Us. And that's why it's going to happen. That's the only reason. If we were waiting for Bernie to do this for us, it wouldn't. It wouldn't happen. The only reason why it is, and the only reason why it's so successful, is because regular people are taking ownership of it and doing the work to make it happen. That's why it's working. And it is working. So you're doing the right thing and you're heading in the right direction. You're on the right path. This is how to make change happen. So keep going. But don't get comfortable. Don't even let them lull you to sleep. Bernie starts winning some states, push harder. Every time Bernie wins, push harder. Do more. Keep going. Keep pushing. It's going to take everything we got. We're going to have to be hungry. We're going to have to prove we really want this. They're not going to give it to us. You know, they're not just going to decide, oh, hey, guys, we've had enough. We've realized that you're right. Our greed is out of control. So we're going to go ahead and pay you guys a living wage, and we're going to fix these crumbling roads and bridges and create some really good high-paying jobs. And we're going to legalize cannabis and stop criminalizing medicine. We're going to take on the pharmaceutical industry and curb this greed and stop killing people over. No, they're never going to self-correct. They will never self-correct. We must stop them. That's all that will make anything happen. That's all that will make any change, is us taking ownership and stopping them. Don't worry about what Bernie's going to do. Bernie's doing a great job. I'm very satisfied with what Bernie's doing. Bernie handled himself very good at the debate last night. That's a positive. Let's talk about a positive really quick. The debate was obviously a trap. I'm convinced. You know, people might think I'm crazy. Maybe I am. I think it was a trap. I think Elizabeth Warren was force-fed the questions. I think the media, the moderators, did a fantastic job of trying to corner Bernie in the first hour. In the second hour, they did a fantastic job of silencing Bernie. So I think the whole damn thing was a setup and a trap. Hey, Ginger. Good to see you. Jack says we need to show up in droves to the DNC office. And Jack says Bernie didn't put up with their bullshit much last night. No, he didn't. He was aggressive. I liked that. I liked that Bernie was aggressive because he needed to be. I wished he'd have fought back a little harder about that bullshit about the $25 trillion. What were they talking about? What were they talking about? That there's $25 trillion unaccounted for. I sat there and I went back through it last night, looking through the Medicare for All plan. I don't understand what they're talking about. And in the Koch brothers study, it was proven that it's a cheaper and more financially sound way to go. They leave out math to make their broken math make sense. It drives me crazy. Hey, Fred, it drives me nuts. This whole process is disgusting. But Bernie did great. I really thought he did. I wish he'd have pushed a little harder in the last hour, but for some reason, I think they were cutting his mic because I didn't even hear him for long periods of time. You know, you can hear them kind of mumbling and stuff. I felt like I didn't hear him for long periods of time. And they do stuff like that. Dion's here. What did I miss? Hey, Dion. Hey, Alicia. This is our revolution. We have to do twice as much as their rules state and never let up. We have to crush this, overwhelm them, destroy them. It's not enough to win. We have to win big at every opportunity. So, every caucus, get out as many people as you possibly can. Every voting opportunity, drive people to the polls. Get as many people as you can to vote. Never stop working, never stop pushing. Don't be satisfied. Because it's going to take us doing everything that we can. At the end of this, you want to know that you left no cards on the table. There was nothing more you could have done. I will know that there's nothing more I could have done. I did everything I could. Because we're not going to get another chance like this. We're not going to get another shot like this. Another opportunity like this is not coming along. This is our moment. So we need to own that 100%. And no matter what happens, like I'll be honest with you, I'm worried about Saturday. I'm worried about Nevada. Am I the only one? Ginger says we have to raise so much hell they can't keep us down. We're going to have to get loud. We're going to have to be persistent. We're going to have to be determined. That's all that's going to make this happen. They are going to tell us no in every creative way they can. They're going to try to make us believe it's impossible and do all they can to make it impossible. So we have to make sure they can't do that they don't succeed, and that they fail. And they're worried. You know, like Steve said earlier, they are scared. They know that they're losing their hold and their grip is slipping. We are going to bring this down. This is going to happen. You know, I've noticed even Trump supporters now are aggressive towards Bernie and Bernie supporters. They have now seen us as the enemy. And Trump, I don't know if you knew this, is doing rallies everywhere they're having primaries and caucuses. Trump is lining up rallies at the same time, and he is running against Bernie. He's not mentioning him yet because he doesn't want to, but he is doing this because he's trying to head start as much as he possibly can and build momentum in the same places that Bernie is. I think that's his strategy. I think Trump is already running against Bernie. But his supporters are seeing us as the enemy. They are now, even the Trump supporters are worried about Bernie now. I see them now already sharing the propaganda and stepping up their game. So we're going to have to fight against a lot of stuff. Luckily, they're really bad at memes. The right seem to be horrible at memes. And the ones I've seen are very inaccurate. They almost seem like they're made by Russians. You know those bad, terrible Russian memes that they told us swayed the election? They almost look like that. That's what they look like. And they're about as accurate. Ginger says, get paid by Bloomberg to canvass for Bernie and donate that money to Bernie. Perfect. Very good strategy. Bloomberg is paying people to work and canvass and volunteer for him, and paying people to show up and caucus. I wouldn't be surprised if he's paying people to vote for him. He's paying people to talk nice about him on social media. He is throwing money at this in every possible way, and I'm thinking about signing up for some of it. Ginger's right. How does he know? Take the money. Yeah, I'll canvass for you. You're damn right I'm going to canvass for Bernie. I'll take that money and throw it right back into the Bernie Sanders campaign with my regular donations. Steve says, a new Bernie ad just came out 20 minutes ago. It came out live. A girl singing. I think it's independent. I shared it. Please share it everywhere. If not now, then when? Right on, Steve. I can't wait to see it. I'm excited. I love, and I hope it is independent made. Not that the Bernie campaign doesn't do a great job of making ads, but some of these independent made ones, mm, like Rising Up, I played it like 3 days ago on the Bern. Got myself a copyright strike on YouTube, though, by the way. But I love that one. Gives me chills. I love that one. And it's an independent fan made one. And I was playing it to promote it. I wasn't trying to rip off or nothing. And I hope it's not the bad copyright strikes, because if it's the bad one, you only get 3 of those. And this would be my second. So hopefully they don't hit me bad with one of those. But because I wasn't playing it to try and steal it, I was playing it because I love it. And I even plugged his name in it. But I don't think YouTube cares. Their algorithm is what catches you. And they caught me. What it answered a question for me, because I was trying to find out if you're allowed to do that, and apparently you're not. So I've seen other people do it. I don't know how they get away with it. Dion says burners are the meme masters. We are definitely a lot better at it than the Trumpers are. The Trump supporters memes, they're ridiculous. And this clown thing and the frog, I don't get either one of those. It just goes right over my head. I mean, I guess it is such sophisticated humor that I just can't understand it. But they're not funny at all. I don't get it. And some of their names that they call us are so weak, like a snowflake. Who is that supposed to upset? I don't even understand some of the things that they say. Alicia says, I'm worried about Saturday too. They are not even guaranteeing the results will be available on Saturday night. I hadn't seen that yet, but that doesn't surprise me. And they won't call it an app. They're calling it a Google Doc now. What is a computer program if not an app? You're using a computer program for caucus. It's supposed to be completely transparent. It's supposed to be the people that are there to caucus. You count them and you report that number. There's not supposed to be computer programs and apps. You know, they're trying to eliminate caucuses altogether. They don't want to be transparent. And they already eliminated exit polling. They're doing all they can to try and rig this. So I am worried about Saturday. I am not comfortable. I'm sure we'll win, but I'm sure they'll do the same shit they did in Iowa and try and limit the amount of delegates that Bernie pulls down. I think that's their strategy. I don't think they plan to win. I don't think any of them plan to win. Any states. I don't think they even care. Second is good enough. As long as they can pull delegates, I think that's what they really want. Steve says, I'm worried about our new voting machines here in California. I'm worried about them now, too. Steve says things are heating up. People are already voting early. California early voting starts Saturday. Good comment, Steve. That's a good comment. Thank you for putting that on there. But is the early voting good? Do we want that? Isn't that how they pull a lot of shady shit? Or am I wrong? Like, I've noticed that a lot of the ballots that tend to disappear are the early voting ballots. And then, like in the caucus in Nevada, is it Nevada? No, it can't be, because you can't early vote in the caucus. Somewhere, they are changing the rules to where you had to have selected 3 candidates. It might be Nevada. But they're changing the rules on the fly, making it fit whatever they want to do. So that's why I'm worried. And Ute says, and you're right, then we must protest. We will have to. That's why I said earlier that this is Bernie or Vest. That is the situation here. So this is going to lead to direct action. You know, I would love to see it work out to where we win this primary fair and square. They give us the nomination. We move forward and beat Donald Trump. Democracy, play out. That's what I would love to see happen. But I'm prepared for it to go the other way. And they are too. Do you see them? Judge their body language. That's why I'm so upset by this debate last night. Watch their body language when they answer that question about the superdelegates deciding the nomination. That's why they're all up there. It was all over their faces. They are there for that reason. That's it. Some of them are going to take a dramatic beating in this primary, but I bet you they won't drop out. Your core group, your Buttigieg, your Warren, your Biden even, and your Bloomberg, they're going to stay. They're going to stick around. They're going to stand, stick it out, try to pull as many delegates as they can. And I don't think it's going to matter how badly they get their ass tore up. And I'm sorry, if Liz is here, that is like the 17th cuss word. I'm usually very good on the Daily Bern. I try to watch my mouth on this one for sure, but I'm doing a bad job. I'm upset. You know, I sat through that debate and watched it. We had a watch party. And by the way, if you were at the watch party, thanks for coming. We had a great turnout and a great comment section. It went really well. And I thought, like I said already, I thought Bernie did well. It's just the game of it. This game, the way they think it's a game, the way people treat it as a game. You know, people I know in my own life think it's a game. Like, oh, yeah, that's the way it is. No, it's not the way it is. It's the way we've allowed it to be. If we stop tolerating it, we could change it. We could change it and make it better. Why don't we want to do that? That's what we're trying to do. So we just need enough people. Luckily, we don't need everybody to be on board. We just need enough people. And we're going to reach that level. We are going to get to that point. And once we do, we won't be able to be stopped, but it's going to take us being determined and staying focused on our goal here and not backing down. And it may come to direct action, to protesting and being in the street. And my choice and my way of committing to that is the Burning Your Vest movement. I suggest you look into that. It's an actual movement. The page is hashtag Burning Your Vest. Check it out on Facebook. It's a commitment to do all that you can and to commit to be there physically when it comes to that. And to start preparing for that right now. To start getting ready and decide that you're going to do that already. That's where we're heading. Hopefully it doesn't happen. Hopefully we go to the convention and it's a party. We're all just hanging out, having a great time, celebrating Bernie's eventual nomination, his coronation at the convention. That'd be fantastic. Something tells me, though, that our presence is going to be necessary at the convention. In massive numbers. It's going to need to be a sea of people. There has to be an army there. Has to. And we need to show our solidarity, and that's why I think the vest is a really good way to do that. And at the same time, we can pay tribute to what's going on in France. It has been very successful, and that is where we would end up if this fails. This can't fail. So I hate to even talk about that or even mention it, but this goes forward. This fight keeps going. That's the other thing we need to remember. Right now, Bernie's our candidate, and we're trying to get Bernie elected president, but we're trying to do much more than that. We're trying to rebuild our government, rebuild our society even. Change it into something that works for the people, that benefits the people, instead of steals from and takes from, which is all we currently have. We can't allow it anymore. We can't tolerate it anymore. We have to be the ones that change it. Not Bernie. Us. That's what we talk about. That's the attitude that we have on this show, anyway. And hell, maybe that's the reason why it hasn't taken off more. People don't want to take responsibility. They don't want to take ownership. They don't want to be responsible. They want somebody else to be responsible. And that way they can blame them when it goes wrong. Well, what good is that? What good is that? Does it matter whose fault it is? Even if you're mad about what happened in 2016 and you're still upset, does it matter who was right and who was wrong? We have an opportunity to win here. But to win, we will have to overwhelm them, to crush them, to destroy them. We need massive numbers to do that. And you can be a part of it. But you're going to let your hurt feelings and your need to blame keep you from it. Well, that doesn't make any sense to me. Now, luckily, we don't need everybody, like I said. But hopefully enough people will put their feelings aside for the greater good. You know, these people that are hurt and upset. I'm not saying I didn't feel the pain and I wasn't upset, but you got to get past it and realize that the problem is the system. And waiting on a hero is not the idea, it's not the solution. We have to do this. We have to be the ones that make this happen. Steve says the energy here in LA is very high. Maybe I'll get out to Canvas Saturday in East LA. My Spanish is fluent. That would be fantastic. I would love to canvas somewhere big like that, a big city. I live in such a rural place. Like for me to canvas, it would take you 15 minutes from house to house just to walk. I would have to go somewhere a little more concentrated to do it anyway. But you see that last night with Pete? How he had to sneak the Spanish in there? The pandering. It's mind-blowing. I hate it. It's disgusting. The whole political game and these politicians that are basically just actors. And Pete's a CIA shill. He's a plant. I'm convinced of it. I don't even think it's crazy to say so. There's so much evidence pointing in that direction. Ginger says we need to be so outraged that we fight back. We're going to. We will. We must. We have to. And that's why we will. I fully believe in this. I fully believe that this is going to happen and we are going to make this happen. And I don't believe that because I'm optimistic. I'm not. I'm pessimistic as hell. The glass is half empty. Doom, doom, doom. Always. But I believe in this. I know that this is going to work. And I know that it is working. So that's why I have to do everything that I can. Everything I can to make it happen. To make sure that it happens. To push it forward. And Dion says, if you're not outraged, you haven't been paying attention. This is unacceptable. The way things are, it's unacceptable. And we don't have to tolerate it anymore. And all we have to do is stand up. And they're going to, like I said, they're going to tell you it's impossible all the way up until it's done. That's their job. That's the media and the establishment's job, to try and get you to accept as little as they can get you to accept and go back to sleep. Well, we're not looking to negotiate, and we're not looking for middle ground, and we're not looking to lay down. Done laying down. It's time for change. And those of us that gather here understand that we're going to have to do that work. If we want this change, we have to make the commitment. So do whatever you can, all that you can, and as much as you can, because that's what it's going to take. Ginger says we get what we accept. Jack, I am not a puffball. I'm a puffball? What's a puffball? What does that mean? Steve says Jack and Sean should do a UFO show. Yeah, Jack had a recent UFO sighting that he was telling me about. And it's pretty exciting. That'd be pretty cool. Steve says we have to stop Bloomberg. There are groups for it. Bloomberg is our enemy. he is going to buy the or try to buy the nomination. I think what they'll do is combine him with like Pete or Warren or whoever they settle on, but that's their plan is for Bloomberg. He's going to purchase the nomination. That's what he intends to do. They're all up there to stop us. It's not about stopping Bernie. They're there to stop us. We can't let them. We have to destroy them. And Bloomberg's easy to destroy. That's the good thing. That's the great thing. A quick Google search destroys Mike Bloomberg. So I've been working on Pete Buttigieg. Maybe I need to bring Bloomberg into the group too and come up with some good dirt on Mike Bloomberg. It won't be hard. It won't be hard. Like Ginger can tell you, there's a book put out of all this shit, the crazy shit that he said to people. They wrote a book. So he's going to be easy to tear apart. But, and this gets pointed out to me all the time, and it's true, he's throwing a ton of money at this, and he has a ton of money. And money can do a whole lot. And all you really got to do is, all they got to do is fool the regular people into believing that Bloomberg has support. You can buy a whole lot of illusion for $1 billion. That's all I'm saying. Phil says, hope this summer we could do a march on Washington. It would be something that we did back in the 60s and early 70s to bring out the crowds of people, to be there in Washington and close down the streets. That would be cool. Dion says, I don't care for the moniker enemy of the people, but Bloomberg fits the description. This is class warfare. He is an enemy of the people. He is an oligarch. He does represent the people that are standing between us and what is right. Justice. He is standing there to block it. That's what he's there for. He's physically put himself in the position to try and block us. He's like the king of the oligarchs at that point for that very reason. He's the only one that decided to physically put his wallet and put himself up on that stage. So he's the worst of them even. So he is an enemy of the people. I think that's very fitting. Steve asked when my state votes. I need to look it up. We're a red state heavily, so I'm pushing a lot of Trump supporters. I think we're late though. Last year we were late, but they changed the whole damn schedule, didn't they? So I need to look it up and find out. I know it's not early on, but I live in Missouri, if anybody was wondering. And unfortunately, we are a red state. But I think in the red states, we can get a lot of Trump supporters to vote for Bernie in the primary at least. I think we can get a lot of Trump supporters to vote for Bernie, period. Ginger says, but can he buy a new personality? He needs to. You'd think he would have bought a debate coach. You know what I mean? Or at least tried to learn how to debate. I was not impressed, and I doubt that anyone was, with Mike Bloomberg's debating skills. And the voice that comes out of his mouth when he opens it, dude, that voice, who would vote for that? I'm not even talking about the man's background, which who the hell would vote for that? But that voice, oh my God. I feel mean saying that because it's just something you can't help, but come on now. This guy has no personality. And like when they were asking him about the disclosure agreement stuff, he is a snake. You see him squirming? Oh. Alicia says Bloomberg is buying politicians. Even if he loses and Bernie becomes president, he's bought and paid for. Politicians will vote against Bernie's policies. That's why they got to go. We're looking to change the whole government, not just elect Bernie president. This is a political revolution. It's a thing of beauty. And if we were to pull this off, we can do everything that we're setting out to do. That's why it's so beautiful. That's why it's so exciting. It's perfect. We've been given a clear path to victory here. This is really ours to mess up. If you really think about it and take in the entire picture, there's no reason why this shouldn't succeed. We have the momentum, we have the numbers, we have the energy, we have the excitement. We know what we're doing, we know how to do it. We can make this happen as long as we keep understanding and keep it in mind that it's all up to us. 100%. No one else. It's us. Ginger says he's Pee Wee. He does look a lot like an older Pee Wee Herman. And he's just, he's a horrible person. And you could tell that. I don't have to know anything about him. But I'm telling you, the very little I do know, he's a bad person. Plus, he doesn't think anybody should have large sodas. He's against giant sodas. How can you vote for somebody who is against big gulps? No, the man is corrupt to his core, and he's an oligarch, and he is an enemy of the people. I don't think that's. I get what you mean, Dion, and you don't want to be that type and sink to that level, but I think he's clearly an enemy of the people. That's what these oligarchs are. These billionaires that leech off of society and drain us and are destroying the planet and sucking our resources dry, they are enemies of the people. And we need to call them what they are. They have names and addresses. We know who they are. It's a handful of people. I can fit them in this room. The people that are holding us down are the few and we are the many. And what's beautiful about this is that we're rising up and doing what needs to happen to make change happen. But we have went on and on and on. This is a marathon for a Daily Bern. You know, this started off as like a 15-minute, 20-minute show. It has evolved into sometimes a marathon stream, but we've had a good group. And I had a good time talking today, and I apparently had a lot to get off my chest. So, but this is a daily show. We do this every day at 7 from Our Revolution War Room. That's my own page. I started for this show. This is so it's the home of this show. Join the page and follow this show. We're on every day at 7. And the purpose of it is to motivate the people fighting in this political revolution to help move this forward. This is just my attempt at doing something of value for the political revolution, because I just feel like I need to do everything I can. And the volunteering and donating, what I'm able to donate, that's good, but I want to make sure I do everything I can. So I felt like we needed some kind of show like this and a place to gather. And I think that we have accomplished a lot in a short period of time. We have a really inspirational comment section. I've noticed that. I'm really proud of that. And there's always really good conversation going on at every Daily Bern. And it's inspirational. There's not quitters. I don't ever see any quitters or defeatists or hardly any ever trolls at the Daily Bern. So I think we've done a great job building something here. And if you find value in it, come back at 7 tomorrow. The Friday burns are always hot burns. They burn. No, we have fun. So this is a motivational show, and hopefully you dig it. And if you do, check us out again. We are here every day at 7, and we're going to keep going. But thanks, guys, for watching and hanging out. Steve says there's tons of dirt on Bloomberg, but he owns mainstream media. No, I know. The media is not going to do anything. They're not going to spread truth or expose Mike Bloomberg. It's our job. It's our job. So hit those memes. Get on the internet. Learn about Mike Bloomberg and go into attack mode. Let's take them down. Take them all down. Just destroy them. Jack says if you aren't spreading the word every day, it is your fault. It is our fault. Yeah, Dion, 7 Central. 7 Central every day. Monday through Friday. We're Daily Bern every day. So come back and hang out with us. We've been building this community that you're visiting right now for about 6 months. How long has it been? I've lost track of time. I don't know. We've done over 200 episodes of this little show, and it's come a long way. So hopefully it'll keep improving and keep growing because I've committed to doing it every day. So it'd be awful if I have to sit by myself. Who's angry at the dirt on Bloomberg? Two angry comments. I didn't angry that, did I? And why are we angry at Dion for 7 Central? I love it. Thank you, Dion, for clarifying that. But I am going to have to wrap this little marathon up because I have a video that I want to debut that I made. I squeezed it out. I got a new video out of this computer and I want to debut it. So I'm going to set up to do that and come back on and see you guys later on my timeline. But thanks so much for watching. And like I said, every day at 7. So keep fighting out there. Keep doing all you're doing. Thank you for all you're doing, by the way. And thank you to every one of you guys for hanging out and sharing and participating in the Daily Bern today. And I will see you tomorrow on the Friday episode. Thanks for watching, guys. See you tomorrow.